Last week on Bebop, we played with battery acid, fixed engines, and went sailing.
This week on Bebop, we fixed our propane, ran cable, and added some solar panels. We hope you enjoy this week's adventure aboard Bebop. We're now sitting here in Annapolis in the front 40. And it's a little rolly, there's a lot of traffic around here, and it's not been too bad. This week, we really want to get a diesel fuel polisher set up so that we can keep our tanks squeaky clean. We have a few more parts we need to get, and before we can do the install, we need to set up solar so that we can make sure that when we go to do all this work on our engine, we're not relying on the engine to stay charged, and we can keep the batteries topped up. So, Simon.
Yeah.
How's the solar going?
I just got one panel set up there. I need to go grab the other panel.
Let's do it!
Let's do it! With both panels up on the hardtop, we can begin marking the location of the screws to mount the panels. Alright, now that I've overdrilled all the holes, it is time for us to epoxy everything. Probably make some thickened epoxy, stuff all the holes, and that way we can protect the core that's inside. The filling process is simple. Make a little bit of thickened epoxy and shove it into each of the holes. The foam core of the hardtop soaked up every drop of epoxy I gave it. This made it challenging to fill, and we would have to come back to it and add more epoxy the next day. But now we have a storm approaching. Let's get this job done quickly and cover up our epoxy bits.
It is the next day. We find that the foam core sucked up a lot more epoxy than we expected, so Simon quickly filled them in. Now we can get to the next project, fixing our propane. Fixing our propane has been two parts. First, replace the tank. Second, replace the regulator. Luckily, we had a spare regulator on board, so we just had to buy a tank. For how nervous I was about doing this project, it ended up being fairly simple. It is the simplest plumbing I've ever played with. Just don't screw it up, and a boat will be safe, right? We got a new tank in, it's filled, it's in the lazarette, all put together. So far, we have not detected any leaks. We're using a nice little propane sniffer to do that, checking all those leaks. Nothing yet. Nothing that we can see. So, wanna try lighting? Oh, this could go bad so fast. And it didn't go bad at all. My anxiety was all for naught.
It's a lot of heat. Guess what though? Getting the propane working means we're no longer relying on our engine to provide power to convert for the cooking appliances. Now we just need to finish the solar. It is the next day. Let's get these solar panels installed. I'm up on the hardtop. Here's the solar. Let's take a look at what we're doing. I drilled in holes and there's foam underneath there. So I filled them with epoxy and then re-drilled. Blue tape is because we're gonna 4,200 these panels down. So that's where the panel feet are gonna go. We moved them just slightly so we can get under there. And back there's the pod. And we're gonna 4,200 that down as well so that it's nice and watertight. Ready?
Ready.
Let's get to this. With the panels mounted, we just need to run the cables from the hardtop to the batteries. Little did we know how long it would take to run a pair of cables. Why did it take so long? Because we knew the wire runs are going to be somewhat permanent. We drill holes in the boat, they better be in the right spot. Pass me the tape. Here you go. Thank you. Once we silly geese got the wires ran, we got the MPPT mounted next to the batteries. Then it's just a matter of finishing the solar panel connectors and connecting them to the controller. We can test if it works. It's either going to explode and we'll have magic smoke, or the magic smoke stays inside and the batteries start charging. So what's our battery voltage right now? Let's see. I call that 11.6. Maybe 11.5. We let the voltage go up, down a little too far. Took a while to get this all hooked up, but it's new. So those solar panels are going to be at full power. Ready? Ready. Magic smoke? It's in bulk. Alright. What does the fridge say? It says 11.8. What does this say? 12.2. We're charging. Dude, we're charging on solar. How you feel? I don't know why it worked. Good response. So we finished the solar panel install, and it's honestly been a game changer, even with how little solar we have. We have two Renogy 100-watt solar panels, and here's what they're producing. About 108 watts right now, and we made it to float. So the batteries are about as charged as they're going to get. So the two panels we have, I wired them in series to get them to 40 volts, because they're each a 20-volt panel. And I did this partly because our charge controller only turns on, it only starts charging the batteries after we achieve something like 12.5 volts on the panels. And considering we have almost 40 feet of cable going from the panel to the charge controller, we definitely need to take advantage of every volt that we can. Some of these concerns may have been unfounded, as we don't actually start pulling amps until it reaches full voltage anyways. But regardless, now running the cable was more challenging than expected, because running things through the cap rail is somehow the most challenging part on this boat. So we also have concerns that our charge controller might be undersized, or I'm still figuring out the programming of that. So our solar panels, 200 watts, is only producing 130 watts. Which is interesting, because at 13 volts, it is not putting more than 10 amps into the batteries. I'm wondering if there's because we have the Victron module we have is a 7510 MPPT controller, I'm wondering if the 10 amp part of it is because it's limited to only charge the battery side at 10 amps. If so, we'll see what happens. We're going to be upgrading the solar again at some point. This is only a temporary solution just to keep us moving. One day I'd love to get like 100,000 kilowatts of solar on this boat. We could probably get two kilowatts of solar on this boat, no problem. Especially since we have the hardtop, and solar panel technology just keeps on getting better every day. The other thing we have to look at doing eventually is replacing the batteries, because while we did charge the batteries, those batteries are huge, and I don't think we should have been able to charge them after 5 hours. So that's the solar. I am so glad to have it done, and it's a beautiful sunny day. Stuart's downstairs editing, and he's charging his computer from the sun. Ain't that a wonderful thing?
Man, it's been a busy week.
It really
Hectic.
has. We got the solar done. We
Yep.
fixed our propane system. I mean, those were two really big,
Took a lot of
life-changing things to do.
Took a lot of time just to do that solar. But now we just need to work on our engine.
Mm-hmm.
We only need to use it to get us to the dock once a week to fill our water tanks.
So all we gotta do next week is get that fuel polisher installed.
Yep.
If you enjoyed, please leave a comment down below.
Leave a like.
And subscribe.
Ding!
Thank you for watching. See you next time.